I'm calling about the $50,000 reward for information about the missing kids.
Let's talk about weapons, and like I said, we're just going to be talking about weapons because it's my most anticipated movie of the year so far, and I've seen some other things that have been popping up throughout, like I said in the previous video, which is doing great. Thank you everybody for watching, but YouTube, I guess they didn't really like that thumbnail, so this thumbnail we're going to have to tone it down for sure. But let's talk about it, because in the previous video we had talked about the clip that was showcased, and I always forget that in different markets they show different things. So like the Warner Brothers YouTube in the United States is going to show something in comparison to the one in, let's say, like the UK, which I'm going to talk about today. There's some new footage there that I had never seen before, and I want to talk about it, and also go back into some of the things that I just noticed in the other video I did a video for, which I think really just showcases more of this mystery unraveling. And like I said before, there's going to be spoilers in the comments because the script and all that has been out for some time now. There's a lot of spoilers already that I've seen as well, so be very, very careful. But I will tell you that here we're going to start to really unravel more of what's going on, because I think when you start piecing as much footage with any movie, and we've done this before where we really go deep into the movies and everything that they're talking about, and then we start really like thinking about it and we're like, wait, this is what's going on in this movie for sure now, I know. And you know, it's the thing with like dissecting the movies as much as we do, we're eventually going to come up with what exactly is happening, and that's totally okay too. So here we're going to go into it. We're going to talk about what exactly is here that's being presented, as well as talk about where does this movie go and what's it trying to showcase. So the movie, of course, is Weapons. Weapons is the latest film from Zach Cregger, who did the film Barbarian, which I really love and I enjoyed it a lot. I know some people aren't really fond of it, and I'm very curious as to why. I'm going to rewatch it before we watch Weapons because I just want to get back into that world. Because of course, if you don't or do not know, this is actually in the same world as Barbarian. And I think Barbarian has been one of the best movies of the 2020s so far. So let's get into what exactly these new clips that I saw are sort of implying is going on here, because the mystery is, where are the Maybrook missing kids? The Maybrook missing are 17 kids that vanished at 2:17 a.m. They ran out of their house. Nobody knows why this happened. Now the big question is, how do we get these kids back, and what the hell are we doing, right? So in the latest teaser that was showcased, and this is one that I saw in the UK Ireland YouTube page, there's actually 3 characters that we get to meet. Of course, one of them is Julia Garner's character, and the other one is Josh Brolin's character. And some of the scenes that we see in these little shorts, as well as the character of Alden Abrams, who has their own, because his is the most important one we're going to talk about, but we see some footage that I hadn't seen before, including this one right here of Benedict Wong's character right before he turns. Of course, Benedict Wong is playing the principal of the school and is mainly one of the people that is trying to help Justine, who is played by Julia Garner, because Julia Garner's character of Justine is being blamed for what happened to these children. They're saying that she is actually a witch, as you can see right here painted on her car. She's just trying to fill up gas, and Josh Brolin's character of Archer comes to antagonize her even more. He's doing his own detective work to try and figure out where did these kids run off to and why. And we see that, of course, somebody knows what happened here, and that person is Alden Abrams, who plays a burglar in the film. And in the film, we see he is trying to collect the $50,000 reward. Even here at one point, I guess he did find the children and is holding one of their backpacks, rummaging through it, maybe looking for money, right? But we see that this is quickly going to backfire on him, because whoever took these children doesn't seem to want to give them back, as we see they start to be antagonized, chased, and eventually I think is going to be caught, as you can see. And I think that this is a very interesting aspect here, that this burglar, who was probably not even doing anything to try and help these children, but so happened to have stumbled upon them, is going to use this in order to make some money, right? They don't really care maybe about the children. It's just about the money. But this shot right here in all 3 of the teasers is interesting, because this, of course, is who took the children, I believe. We see that they are cutting some thread out of this sweatshirt. Behind here, you can make out that there is a child there in a catatonic state. And we've talked about these catatonic states already, because in the marketing that we've seen, in the one where somebody is being forced to eat soup, we see that the people are in a catatonic state as well. And we've said it before, this character right here is definitely somebody you're going to want to keep an eye out for, and we see them as well here in the trailer that they are definitely up to something, potentially the ones behind the kids. the reason for why the kids are taken or why exactly this is happening is a mystery still. I do not know. I have no clue what this person is trying to do with these children and why they were taken, what the importance of 217 is either, which I do want to talk about as well, because a lot of y'all have been giving some great theories onto that. I've also had my theories I've talked about in the past, so that's going to be a whole other video before we watch Weapons next week, so stay tuned for that. But I really do love what they're doing with this marketing. I do really enjoy it. I said that they did a tie-in with Fortnite. It wasn't much except cans of soup that was showcased throughout that, and I think that definitely is something that's going to be important later down the road, so I'm curious to see what the soup really does mean. But for now, I think that we definitely have gotten something interesting here, and I'm excited to see what else is going to be showcased. I don't think we need to see more. I think we've already seen enough if you piece everything together, and I think that that is totally fine. So this movie will be coming out in a couple of days, and we are so close. Let me know what you think about it, if you're excited for it, if you are ready to see what the mystery is here. I mean, it's Barbarian, director Zach Cregger. Some twists and turns are bound to happen. This is an epic story that's told in different parts, from Julia Garner's character to Josh Brolin. Now we know Austin Abrams, who is the burglar, and also Alden Ehrenreich is a character who is playing a cop here. We don't really see much more of that character throughout. That's why I'm curious why they're trying to keep it sort of shadowed of what his role is. I believe it's going to be big. But in other clips that I saw from the trailers in the past, we do see that he is going to sort of be under the control of whoever's doing this to the children as well, because we see him lashing out at Julia Garner's character, Justine. Something we also know is that Justine and the cop here have sort of a past as well together, which I think is interesting. He plays Paul Morgan, a police officer who has a complicated relationship with Justine. What that relationship is, no clue, so we'll see. The biggest question as well is, why did one child not go missing, right? That is the one child that didn't go missing from her class also might have some ties to whoever's doing this as well, and we'll get more into that as well as we go and get more information throughout, so stay tuned for that. But as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the movie Weapons, if you're excited for this movie or not. Do you like what the marketing is doing for this movie Weapons, or do you think it's going to really make people's expectations too high and then people are just going to be disappointed by the end? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, that's going to do it for me. I'll see all of you next time on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Stay safe, stay positive.
Know where they are?